Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored.
What up, everybody? This is Jason Lee, and this is Hollywood Unlocked Uncensored.
And I'm Melissa Ford, a.k.a. the Curve Queen.
DJ Damage is out, but Blac Chyna is going to hopefully enlighten us with enough that we don't need a fourth person. How are you, Blac Chyna?
I'm doing good.
You know, I've been trying to get you on the show for I don't know how long. We've talked about you probably 1,000 times. Well, not 1,000 times. We've only done a couple hundred episodes.
Yeah, no.
But you're a hot topic.
Thanks.
Okay, can we ask, why is Hollywood Unlocked blocked? I just realized on the way up here that we were blocked, and I know I heard in the streets that you block all the blogs, or you block out all of that because you don't like to read negativity. Is that true?
No, it's not true. Y'all were blocked, but I ain't blocked you guys.
Did you? Okay, follow her back.
Yeah.
Well, we're doing behind the scenes right now. Why did you block us? Did you hate us up for a while, or what?
No, I just honestly wasn't into it. I didn't want to see it.
And you used to be really private. You used to not do interviews. I've seen you, well, let's see, you did the Wendy Williams interview, which was amazing. Mm-hmm. Then I saw you at Wildin' Out, which, by the way, we plotted on Blac Chyna. Let me tell you something. We get the list of who's coming on the show, right? So they say Blac Chyna's coming. I'm like, oh, fuck, this is going to be fun because we're going to plead the fifth, and she's going to bomb everything, and we're going to win because she's not going to answer anything. Mm-hmm. You answered every fucking question.
Yeah, everybody was coming at me, but it's cool.
But you answered every question. Nobody comes on that show and answers that game. They never answer plead the fifth every single question. Why are you now out here just
letting it all hang out?
For no pun intended.
Yeah. Not.
Because there's really nothing to really hide. Yeah.
Well, but nothing to hide. But I mean, you still could choose to be. I mean, I remember one of the questions they had asked you, who gave better head, Robert Tiger, and you said Tiger. You could have said plead the fifth, but why not? Why answer every question?
Because I wanted to win. And which I did win. We won.
You did win.
Yeah.
She actually blew out the whole show. You won every game.
Yeah.
And we were sitting there kind of mad because we had plotted on you. We just knew you were gonna plead the fifth. Okay, so here on the show, we've had a lot to talk about because you're Blac Chyna. There's 4 pages of notes here. We've never had 4 pages. We're not going to go through all 4 pages because I know enough about you from my team writing about you to just ask questions. So one thing I will say, having caught up with you outside of the internet and outside of Instagram, is you seem to be very nice.
Yeah, I would say so.
Nice, shy. I don't know. A lot of the things I don't think people would look at you on Instagram and say. Why do you think you have a different public perception than when people meet you in private?
Maybe because everybody wants to, portray me as something else and I'm not. But I mean, honestly, I feel like it kind of kept me sane because it's not true. So it's like, it's not true, so it doesn't really apply to me. So it's like, go ahead. If you want to talk, go ahead. If that makes sense.
You're kind of like a moving target, would you say, like when it comes to like controversy, people being interested in every single move that you make. Doesn't it kind of get, I don't know, exhausting at times? Like,
no, not really.
To have such a like spotlight on you all the time.
I mean, not really. I stay in the house and I kind of sleep a lot. So I'm not really too exhausted.
She recharges her battery.
But that's what I'm saying. The public, well, let me just say this. I know, like, we can post you on Instagram with somebody, and that is a controversy, although it's not because you're young, you're fly, you have money, and you can date whoever the fuck you want, but it does become news. Why do you think everybody, including us, is so caught up in Blac Chyna?
I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out myself, but I'm not mad at it,
So let me see what time it is. It's 3:45 in the afternoon, and you have what appears to be a couture outfit on. You look very rich right now. Is this how you?
I had to get all glowed up for you guys,
Oh, well, I appreciate that.
That's really nice.
And you're not nervous. You're comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, okay, let me ask you this. Let's go down. I do want to talk about some of your relationships because you've dated some pretty interesting people.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I want to start, not the latest that we know, but the one that's at the top of my mind is Black Almighty. Not Black Almighty. What's his name? Young Almighty. Whatever. Yeah. You know who I am, the young nigga. Young Almighty Jack.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So he was, when you guys started dating, he was what, 18 or 19?
18.
Okay, and were you really in love with him the way it appeared to be? Because I had said something on this show that I thought maybe you had created some type of agency to make these young rapper niggas hot. Because if a nigga is seen with you, he's instantly famous.
I mean, well, that's on them. No, I just feel like How do I answer this? I don't know. He's a really cool person. I feel like, men do it all the time, so why can't I date somebody that's a little bit younger than me? It happens all the time. If an older guy dates a younger girl, like you the man, But if an older woman does it, it's just such a problem. I don't think it's a problem at all. I just feel like if he make me happy or makes me happy, then that's just exactly what I'm gonna do,
Let me ask you a question about him, just from the perspective of being a woman. Okay. And, it's my job to go through the comments, read blog posts, etc.
Right.
And a reoccurring question when it came to your relationship with him was, what does a 30-year-old woman have in common with an 18-year-old kid? Because boys, they mature a lot slower than we do. We mature a lot faster than they do. When we're 25, we could be thinking like a 31-year-old. When they're 18, they could be thinking like, I don't know, 10. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people were wondering, like, what is it that she finds in common with this young teenager, basically?
I mean, obviously, like, the mindset, we'll go back to, like, how this person made me feel. And I know, like, a lot of people that's 30, 40, 50 and still don't have, like, the mindset that they should have at, quote-unquote, 30 and 40. I feel like that doesn't really matter in my eyes,
Well, I'll say, I'm 41. My ex was in his 20s. I love a young nigga, keep me young. I mean, and the sex is great. But the sex is,
that part, yeah.
Do you feel like you're an easy target to be judged regardless of what you do?
Absolutely.
And is it because you're famous or because you've been caught up in the whirlwind of stories or whatever controversy she says that you have, that you're just somebody that people want to use as a storyline or for clickbait?
I don't know. I feel like it's not a lot of people to really talk about, or like, so maybe I'm like one of those people that's like targeted. So it happens sometimes,
And does it bother you?
At first it did, but not really now.
So let's go back to Tyga.
Okay.
Because Tyga, who I've also just recently come to get to know, too, is a nice person too.
Super nice.
Super nice. So all of us that were rooting for you in the hip hop world, did you ever wish that thing would happen again, or that it would come back and flourish and work?
Who, with Tyga?
Yeah.
No. I mean, I feel like we have King, and that's just like our main focus. Like, he's like focused on his career, and the same as I. And I think that's honestly like the best thing that anybody could really ask for.
So your co-parenting relationship is good.
Yep.
And so we broke the Jordan Woods, Khloe Kardashian, Tristan Thompson story at Hollywood Unlocked. And one thing that we got really heavy in the comments was...
Chyna must be...
Wait, what you laughing? Because you saw...
I read the comments too.
She must be sitting there like...
I didn't even think of Chyna when we posted it. I just went about my day. But Chyna, you were in every post that we did where people said that, have that same energy because this is what Kylie did with Chyna. What did you think about that?
I really didn't look too much into it, but if I had to speak on it, I feel like it happens every day to actually everybody, really. I've seen certain people date somebody and they be friends and then they go behind their back and then start fucking on them or dating them. It happens all the time.
Yeah, but you haven't been involved in that.
No, not at all.
So then why do we make a pass for those that do?
Because it happens. I see it. I'm pretty sure you've seen it too.
I've seen a couple of things around the block.
And it's just whoop, the sky is so blue.
Did you understand why people gravitated towards Jordan and supported her when the whole scandal broke? Why more people didn't feel like she shouldn't have been sitting on a man's lap who had a baby? And a baby mom by her
best friend's sister.
She lived in the girl's backyard. Whatever the girl's name, Kylie.
I don't know, because a lot of people might not know about the whole scandal and whatnot. I feel like a lot of people actually have jobs and things that they probably care more about versus what somebody else is doing in their personal life. So that's why a lot of times I don't even address certain situations, or try to bring it to the light.
So why were you so respectful of Tyga's relationship with Kylie when that all happened and not really just come out just shooting, just blazing? You could have really just shot some shit up.
I'm not really a shooter.
Did you decide I'm going to handle this in private for my son or for our relationship? Or?
No, it was just like, all right, it's just time to get back on your grind, Chyna, and that's it.
That was the first thing that came to mind.
Yeah. It's always been on my mind, of course, you know what I mean? But what can I do about it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it happened, recognize it, and then move on. What am I going to go cry and like post about it? No. Only thing I could do is just go make more money and worry about my son, and that's exactly what I did.
Well, maybe not post about it, but I mean, would you say that when you were in a relationship with Tyga and you guys had King, that you were like, did it crush you? Like most women would feel like ridiculously betrayed and just be, you know, in a corner, just like,
because that's the one thing,
like with their heart broken. Because
that's the one thing about you. I mean, definitely on the outside, you are making money. Mm-hmm. You are extremely successful. You stand on your own feet. You don't rely on any man. I mean, it doesn't look like you're dating a man for money. And there are a lot of women out here that date women for money. And there's a lot of men out here that date women for a place to live because they're homeless sexuals. But it doesn't seem like that's the case.
Homeless sexuals.
I gotta use that.
Oh, yeah, trust me. I'm gonna brand that shit. I got a homeless sexual getting out of prison tomorrow. But anyway, no, because I never seen you have a meltdown. You know, in the sense of in that situation. So how did you just...
Maybe like upbringing, who knows? I don't know. Like everybody's like built differently, you know what I mean? And everybody like reacts to certain things differently, and maybe I just reacted differently. Mm-hmm. And sometimes like, you know, if you're placed in a situation, maybe it wasn't like your place or your time. And I feel like now is like my time.
Your time for what?
Just to be more open and just move forward and just be clear about certain things, you know?
I will say that I'm really happy to see you being open. I told Freshie, your publicist, that I really,
Hi, Freshie.
I really loved you on Wendy.
Thank
I
you.
since then have become friends with Wendy also, and I love how you know, when she was going through her relationship battles, you know, people because of her job looked at it as an opportunity to really step on her, and you stepped up and like you became little big sis. So it's been good to see y'all hang out. So yeah, she's an amazing person privately.
She is. Mm-hmm.
What is this relationship with her meant to you? Like, what does it mean to you?
I mean, it's just kind of like clear, you know, like when you meet somebody, you just kind of like click. I feel like a lot of people, when they meet somebody, if you could tell me like why exactly, like why you like me, it's kind of like weird. Mm-hmm. If I like you, I like you. If I love you, I love you. It shouldn't be like, okay, this is why I love you. I love you because you're brown skin. I love you because you're 6 foot. It should be like, no, I love you because I love you, and I vibe with you because I vibe with you. Mm-hmm. It's like really no like, you know.
Yeah, but you can't trust everybody either.
I mean,
because out here you can like a motherfucker on Tuesday, and by Wednesday they'll be and stabbed you in the back.
Or trying to put out a sex tape on you.
I mean, it happens, but also too, with that being said, I don't really like carry stuff like on my back. I feel like every person that I meet, I give them like the fair opportunity. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because sometimes what happens is if you like carry this like burden on your back or on your chest, like you actually might miss out like on really good people, and then you become like super bitter. And it's just like not cool. It's not a good feeling, you know?
So, question, when the whole betrayal thing happened with Tyga and Kylie, not too long afterwards, you got involved with Rob. A lot of people's perception was that was a revenge thing. Mm-hmm. What would you say to that? You know, basically people saying, oh, well, she's getting her revenge going, you know, with their brother and whatnot, so...
That's funny. That's cute. No revenge. Nothing of the sort. I'm not even like that type of person. I really don't entertain certain things. And by the way, like if you look at Dream, like stop. Mm-hmm. That's no revenge. Like she's super smart, super brilliant, like all of it.
Oh no, she's beautiful.
No, she's gorgeous.
Yeah,
like she's everything.
Yeah, and she's a sweet baby. I mean, like she's posted all over the blogs, Hollywood Unlocked included. But prior to her being born, you know, the relationship itself, that was what was considered, that was a lot of public fodder. People were like, oh, and they were giving you props for it. You know, they were like, the clan is, you know, shady to her, so why not?
I mean, I've known Rob for a long time, and I remember reaching out to Rob. I know how Rob felt about the show, and I know how Rob felt in some part about his sisters at the time. There there was a lot of inner animosity, especially through the weight gain and stuff like that. I do see how he could be open for somebody to come in at that moment and have a relationship. I will say on the outside, with the optics, of course, I'm caught up in the conversation. It was just like, if it was a strategic move, it was probably the most brilliant checkmate I've ever seen.
Kind of.
What do you?
No, it definitely was not. Rob definitely came at me.
Yeah, and I know you mentioned that on
This
Wendy.
is
You
all
talked
facts,
about it.
yeah.
So what do you feel?
Nobody can't like come after somebody's brother. Do you get what I'm saying? It doesn't work that way at all.
So was it love initially?
Yeah, initially, yeah. Rob is a really sweet person, as you know, like really open. He was actually taught me a few things and vice versa. And in the beginning, it was just like I just kind of wanted the same thing that everybody else wanted looking in. Like just to lose weight and get back on your shit. You know what I mean? And that's how it initially started. And then it just kind of just grew from there.
Do you think it was easy for people to say that you were trying to capitalize on that because, again, it was another storyline? Or just not a storyline for the show, but like another story, another headline?
No, I mean, no, not at all. No. No.
And why are you so tight-lipped when it comes to people speculating about you? Why do you just say, fuck it, I'm going to let them talk because they're going to talk either way? Or because you never really stand up for yourself? Until recent, you've never really.
I mean, I feel like people talk about Jesus Christ, but I mean, who's counting? I mean, what do you want?
Poor Jesus. They did that man dirty.
Yeah. So, okay. So you've had, it's everybody, kind of knows this. You've had a very tumultuous relationship with your mom. But she
doesn't like me. I don't know why Tokyo Toni doesn't like me. I think she's a star. She's great for saying how she feels at any minute of the day. She's the complete opposite of you in terms of you'll internalize it all, and Tokyo Toni will go to Instagram and say fuck you while she sips a Starbucks.
Yes. Well, she was a staunch defender of you against any attack when it came to you being with Rob and anybody talking badly about you. What is your current relationship with your mom? Because it's like sometimes you guys are like the closest, and then there's other times where you blocked her or whatever the case is. What's your relationship with your mom?
She blocked us too, so we're in good company.
Super cute. I just feel like to answer that question, just like tune into my show, and then you'll get to see.
Well, I saw 2 clips from the show, the Blac Chyna,
the real Blac Chyna,
the real Blac Chyna show premiering soon. It's on Zeus, right?
Yes, sir.
I did see one where you guys, I think this is when we were in Atlanta filming Wildin' Out. You went roller skating. It was like all happy. Y'all had like 21 inches, and then like the next scene, I think you had bumper curls or something, and y'all was in the kitchen fighting. So is it going to depict the real up and down relationship that you guys have?
You just really have to see. I'm just actually really like looking forward to that.
So my mother used to tell me she wished she had an abortion, and your mother said that you were an oops. I think she said, what did she say? You were oops, baby? I
mean, that's Toni. It's fine. It happened. I'm moving past it. I love my mom to death. Sometimes like stuff happens, just like how like stuff happens with every other family, and it doesn't make me any different. Just that my stuff is like more front street. I'm just hoping that in the future that we could just keep certain things like more private and whatnot, and we're kind of like working towards that.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother suffered from mental health, and she, thank God. I mean.
Thank God didn't have an Instagram account?
Thank God. Unfortunately, she's passed away.
Yes.
Thank God we weren't going through it in a public way where I was a public person. Do you, when you're, I'm really fascinated by why you stay silent. That's what I don't get it. I understand because
that is the antithesis of Jason.
No, because like I understand like this Tristan Thompson, this little motherfucker. Like I've been really vocal about this bitch because he put me out of a party. I never been put out of a party. I'm still traumatized. But there's just certain things like when things happen that I feel like, oh, I should just say something. You just don't say anything.
Yeah, I mean, because if you say something, it's like you care too much. It's like, damn if I do, damn if I don't. So to keep my sanity, I'd rather not.
But how do you maintain your sanity? Do you process it privately? Like, do you have an inner circle?
I see it and I recognize it, and then I move on and try to figure out something else. Like, what's my next business venture? Or like, how I'm about to pay this mortgage, or or which wig am I about to wear,
or what Rolls Royce you're gonna pay for. So when that girl threw the stuff at your Rolls Royce, did you want to just beat her down, or I mean, you can't talk about that because that's still legal, right?
No, I mean, it happened. It's insurance. We have insurance.
But you're from DC, and these Valley girls, sometimes they think they can roll up on you.
Yeah. I don't think so. That's why I was in the house.
You're phenomenal.
Okay, well, let's talk about somewhere where you definitely couldn't keep your cool.
Wait, you mentioned something that you just glossed over, and everybody listening is like, what the fuck? Y'all didn't say that. I got to ask the question.
Oh, sorry.
She can say whatever she wants. She answers everything. Okay. Let's let her fix her bangs.
Let's do it.
Okay, so the sex tape. Michi was here on the show. Was that Michi in the sex tape?
I don't recall. I plead the fifth.
So I'm wilding out. She looks at me, and
You get 1 point.
I knew I had her. I said, Nick, she's gonna definitely plead the fifth. And she looked at me and she said, how about it wasn't yours? I wasn't even ready for that reaction. I don't know if you saw my face. I was like, fuck. So I just said, I forgot what I said. I walked away.
Yeah, I know. It was
But
good.
she winked at me, and it wasn't like Shay. It was,
Yeah, no.
Okay. Do you think, like, I mean, you've dated some guys who I always say to women that we've had on the show, especially if they have like a, like
high profile
or whatever,
that men date you for clout.
Yeah, I really feel like men date
and take
women
advantage.
like you for clout. Do you think they do? Do you think that's what they seek you out for and try to take advantage?
I mean, when I was dating Tiger, they thought I was with the clout. When I dated Rob, they thought it was clout. When I dated somebody that didn't have no money, it's clout. It's just like, look.
Wait, did people think you were dating Tiger for clout? I never heard that one.
Yeah.
You heard that?
Yeah. Yeah. It happens.
I thought it was just real love. Shit, I don't know.
Where's my vape? I don't want to blow no smoke in nobody's face, but I'm like,
you can smoke.
I love you, by the way.
Oh, thank you, love.
Yeah, sidebar, okay, legend to big to.
Thank you.
What? Man, what?
Why does everybody come on the show and give you these props?
Man, like, what? Are you crazy?
And then they look at me and say, "Oh,
no, you're legend. You're legend too, though. You have a sweet face.
Legend in the making."
Oh, I have it, you guys. I'm sorry.
Ooh, yeah.
It's not weed. It's just like
That's cool.
it's just a part of my lifestyle. It's called a jewel. Yeah, back to you.
Oh,
Legend. I'm
thank
sorry.
you, my love.
I have to get into this.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
So back to you.
Yes.
So dating men for clout, or men dating you for clout. When it comes to making sex tapes, don't you keep the copy though? I know I do.
No, there's somebody that did a sex FaceTime with you, and they got that.
Wait, what? No, that's not
He
true.
has the FaceTime video.
No, it was not.
Your vagina's gonna hit the internet.
It was not my vagina. We're not even gonna go there. Anyways,
Do you still have it?
no. What
Right now?
what he's talking about is this whack dude that I was dating. Very briefly, decided to take a screenshot of us while we were FaceTiming, and I was in the bathroom putting on my makeup, and I didn't have anything on top, which is a bitch move.
No, he's just a fan. Like, come on. Like,
this
this is probably like a once in a lifetime to ever be involved, so they want to like keep memories. And
But
it's
here's
just
the
like,
worst part is I got into it with like the best of intentions. So don't you find that happens to you sometimes? You get into something with the best of intentions and discover, oh shit, I fucked a fan.
I feel like everybody's a fan of somebody if you date them. I mean, you have to be. You know what I mean? If you're not my biggest fan, then that's just weird. And
But doesn't
like,
it
I
get
can't-
frustrating that they might not see you as like a human being and just see the persona?
No, I think at first maybe like, oh my god, like, and then once they get to know you, it's like, oh my god, I love you like that. I love you without your wig, like
hilarious.
no makeup. You look better without makeup. And it's like, come on.
Listen, I'll be honest. Here in LA, I mean, that's where I had a lot of the drama when I first got here. I really believed everybody was my friend. I mean, we cool because where I'm from. You from DC? I'm
Where you from?
Stockton, California, up Northern California.
Still Cali. Why do people say that?
Because
Oh,
it's
what is the difference?
it's still the Wild Wild West up there. Like they just had 4 people killed yesterday. It's really rough. I mean, I've been shot. A lot of my brothers, we all been shot. But the thing about it is, when I first got to LA, I thought that everybody that was nice to me, that was cool, we could hang out and not shoot each other. We were friends.
Right.
Shit. And every time I would get burned over, I would just go to Instagram or Twitter at the time. I would
Yeah, you
just
would.
burn their house down.
Yeah, you would.
Then I figure out how to make money out of that.
Yeah. Just call yourself a phoenix. That's what I did. Or that's what I do.
Because you rise out the ashes.
Yep.
So what is it that bothers
Continuously.
you? Is there anything that, it seems like most things roll off your back. Is there anything that bothers you?
Somebody touching your child.
Well, that too. Or like, I don't
Because
know.
you took
If something's
6
like messy or dirty, that bothers me. I can't stand like filth.
Me neither.
and like clutter. It's like, oh, I gotta get out of here.
So Six Flags, when you turn into a WWE wrestler and you're swinging that damn car thing around, did you just say
stroller.
like, I want to lose and let this motherfucker have it? Because you know there's cell phones everywhere, so everybody's a blogger these days.
I mean, my whole thing with that is, it's like I politely asked her, do not touch my kid. And it's Easter, so I invited like all my good friends that's actually from out of town, because I'm like, I know how holidays could be when you're like out here by yourself.
Yeah.
So I'm like, let me get tickets for everybody and like have like a good little Easter Sunday. Told the girl, please don't like chill, you know. Got security, I got my peoples or whatever. When you go out, which I really rarely go out, it's just like, just don't touch my kids. That's weird. You got people that's like super crazy. They can have a knife, try to stab your kid, try to stab me. You just never know. So I just wasn't having it. And as a mom, that's what you're going to do. Like, don't touch my kid. That's weird.
Yeah, Cardi had that moment yesterday where somebody ran up on her when she was with her kid. She was just with her dad, no security, and she flashed. Okay. I mean, I think what people don't realize is that, you know...
Don't touch my kid.
Yeah, it's normal.
Yeah.
But I feel like, again, you're easily sensationalized no matter what you do. I mean, because you go to Six Flags, you think you're going to run into who? Fucking, what's the Sylvester the Cat?
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't there, but hey. Next time I go to Disneyland, period.
I mean, but Six Flags, you see celebrities with their kids, because I mean, they're real people too. They want to bring their kids to, ride, get on rides and eat cotton candy and whatnot. It is weird that somebody would just walk up to somebody's child and feel like it was okay to touch them. So,
don't touch them.
I think that was a circumstance in which everybody kind of stood behind you and like was ridiculously understanding, like, why would you do something like that?
Yeah.
And then tried to like villainize you, like the girl, she was calling you names and stuff.
And it's just funny how like things like kind of edited too, because it just like, it wasn't just one person, it was like a gang of people.
That must have been really scary.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, other than having security, still, it's like somebody, you don't know what somebody's carrying on them.
Right, exactly.
Somebody ran up to me Saturday, walking in the brunch, literally got out the car and threw a lawsuit at me and said, you've been served. I mean,
bitch, no, you didn't tell me that.
Yeah, I get sued all the time. I'm not worried about that. I think the thing for me was just not really realizing like
who's a fan
that close
or like,
to you though.
Yeah, because
you know?
and then you want to be nice to everybody, because it's like, especially if it's a kid or just an older person, you're like, hey, hi, and it's like, okay, of course I'll take a picture. And like sometimes it's not like a nice person, it's an evil person. It's just like, you kind of have to like, I don't know, take the good with the bad, or stay in the house like I do.
So how many times a week do you shoot content? Because you literally are probably one of the few people that put out content. It almost seems like every day.
Yeah. I feel like it's my job, and I like it. I'm actually like blessed to do that.
Do you look at it like dress up? Like I get to dress up and...
No, I look at it like I just like what I do. And like, finally, thank God.
Well, did you not like anything else you did?
I mean, sometimes like you feel like pressure to do certain things. Yeah, I feel like that's like with anything or whatever. But I just kind of like being blessed to like do exactly what it is that I want to do, without like no pressure or somebody like being on my back and whatnot. Other than Uncle Sam.
So that
like, whoa, you gotta pay. You have to pay your taxes. Like,
please
whoa,
don't
bro.
bring him up.
Like chill, bro.
Yeah, because that motherfucker's lurking around everybody's backyard.
Yeah.
So when you and Rob split, you ended up getting with that guy Ferrari. I know he wanted to be so famous. He just kind of fizzled out and disappeared.
Aww.
Do you miss him?
No.
You don't miss him?
Oh.
You guys actually inspired me to get one of those damn Versace robes. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, it happens.
They're pretty comfortable. So how do you...
They are.
So,
and super expensive.
So how do you...
I'll get you one, boo.
Oh, thanks.
A white one.
I will take it.
She got money.
I'm waiting for like new colors to come out.
She got money. I'll get you a Versace robe. Those motherfuckers are like $800.
She's definitely worth it.
Oh, she's so sweet. I'm not about to deal with this love fest. I still have more questions. Shit.
Sorry.
Okay, so...
I'm a fan. What shit?
Well, it's good to see company. Women give other women compliments, because I feel like in Hollywood a lot of people don't. I mean, I feel like there's this crab in the barrel mentality where we all can't show each other love. What is that? What is that jealousy? I mean, do some of these? I'm sure some of these other girls, you've inspired them to do what they do. They don't give you props, do they? Like when you look at some of the Instagrams, you be like, bitch, you tried, but you didn't do it right.
Yeah.
I think it takes a certain amount of...
Because she's so nice, which I don't really realize listening. You really aren't drama.
No, not
Like
at all.
people probably, I know everybody tuned in thinking this was going to be a dramatic episode where we just have blood, sweat, and tears, but you're just not that person,
No, not at all.
which I found very interesting when I ran into you at that party. That was the last time. Do you know Russell Butler? Did you know him? Well, he was the basketball player. He was at that event we were at.
Oops.
Where we had the drink. He ended up passing away, him and his girlfriend. I thought you maybe.
Oh.
He was good friends
Yeah.
with Rob, Russell Butler.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I do remember that. Yep.
Yeah.
So sad.
Yeah.
So
No, I was
sad.
gonna say like it's only a certain type of woman can give another woman props. Like somebody who is just like completely confident in who she is. She don't want to be anybody else. She's like, I'm bad all by myself, so it doesn't pain her to show love to another woman. So, you know, people kind of see that in you with another extraordinarily beautiful, controversial person, Amber.
She's been here.
Yeah, we've had Amber before.
Love her, love
yeah,
her. She's so sweet.
yeah.
Girl power.
Yeah.
I just saw her recently. I did this event with I Heart and Tyga. She was there with AE,
Yeah.
pregnant as hell, and a brunette. I didn't even recognize
Well, she can't
her.
dye her hair.
Why?
She's pregnant.
It's chemicals. You can't do
I
that.
th-
It's so many rules.
Let me think about all the women I've
Fingernail
had pregnant.
polish.
we can't drink
dyes.
wine. You can't take medication. You can't
Yep.
do anything.
Tylenol
that's-
nothing. You got a headache. You better deal with it. Drink some water. Go to sleep.
Just get a
Fingernail polish,
surrogate.
hair dye.
You can't get fingernail polish?
broccoli, all
chemicals,
that.
chemicals.
Even when you breastfeed, you can't do nothing. No spicy food. It's
Miserable.
yeah.
no, it's not miserable at all.
So do you enjoy pregnancy?
Yeah, I actually like both my babies. Like I had a really good pregnancy. No morning sickness, nothing.
Really?
You had okay. So I want to ask you the difference because one of my best friends is pregnant with a girl. She has a boy and she's pregnant with a girl right now, and she is literally like, this little girl is sucking the life out of me.
Really?
You know. So what was the differences between your pregnancies, the boy and the girl?
Really none. Really,
Because you're so young.
Like
that's
I didn't
probably
crave
why.
anything. Like I was like normal. Like hey, I'm just pregnant.
Did you gain a lot of weight?
With Dream? Yeah,
You did. How much? How much weight?
100. I was 196 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, my ass was on swole.
How did you lose it all?
Breastfeeding, huh?
Yeah, breastfeeding.
Yeah.
My stomach went down to like maybe 8-9 days.
How does your stomach go down from breastfeeding?
It's just first of all, like breastfeeding from what I hear is like literally running 5 miles. It like
Yeah.
drains the life out of you.
And you have to like pump every
Yeah.
like 2 to 3 hours, waking about to sleep. Yeah. And depends on like how much milk you get. You like what you have to watch what you like eat, drink. You have to drink a lot of water. And I used to take like supplements, like mother's milk. What is it? I forgot. Yeah, some like tea and all that good stuff. Yeah, it was a lot. It was worth it.
So you've had plastic surgery, and you've
Yeah.
been open about that.
Yeah,
So did you get plastic surgery after Dream?
sure did.
You did? Did you? What did you have done?
It's called the mommy makeover,
Like
right?
breast lift?
I had my my boobs redone because they were too big. I was like, dang, like my boobs was like.
But meaning
In
too,
my chest.
Too big? What do you mean?
So I had like 700 cc's.
Okay.
So like now I think I have like maybe well maybe
So you
don't know.
took you took it out.
Yeah, I took it out
Oh,
and
okay.
went smaller. It was
Well, that's
too
not-
much.
So is that
And then-
considered a plastic surgery?
Yeah,
You're
going
taking it
under.
down?
Yeah, and I got lipo in my butt. It's still big.
You're not scared?
No.
Because I mean, I know somebody else that just got just plastic surgery. I'm like, to go under and just all that.
I mean, you're scared at first, and then once they give you the stuff, you be like, well,
The drugs,
all right.
being in the hospital last year because of my car accident, the drugs are pretty freaking amazing.
Well, Wendy, when I was
Yeah.
on Wendy, she said something about men not getting plastic surgery. Shit, why couldn't we get it? I'd get it.
What are you talking about? Men get a ton of
But
men
she's-
get plastic
What?
surgery.
No,
Like,
I
all the
know.
time.
But she
What?
was saying she wouldn't date a man with who would get plastic surgery. I'm like, what's the fucking difference?
I think that they're more apt, like, you know, to hiding it than women would be.
Yeah, for sure. Like,
because
what?
that it would be seen as more shameful
I
for
know.
them.
I heard this man had pec implants and calf implants. The fuck
Yep.
you walking around here for?
Plus liposuction.
I'm sorry.
But do you? So, but I feel like that takes a lot of courage to be able to do it and to own it. So when you do it, you're not afraid.
No.
Okay, so the upkeep, you go to the gym.
You thinking about
frequently.
it? No. He's like,
I don't know. Listen, I'm in the gym now, but if I get tired by Thursday, maybe I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like anybody should do whatever makes them happy. I've never been a shamer of, oh, you had this, you had. Look, first of all, be broke motherfuckers that look like barracudas who can't afford it that have an opinion about it. I feel like if you can afford it and you want to do it, do it. I have a friend that just had a surgery. He lost like 100-something pounds. He's a whole new nigga now. Got abs. He keeps posting almost nude photos. I tell him I'm gonna follow his ass on Facebook. But I feel like people should do what makes them happy.
I agree.
So when you came out of it, were you happy with the results? Did you talk to your doctor and plan it all out? Is it exactly what you were?
You don't look this perfect by accident. I'm sure they have a conversation.
I know that obviously they're going to have a consultation.
Really nice breasts. I know the men watching this are so mad right now.
I don't know if they can see mine because I've got my notes in my computer in front of me. But so when the doctor, did you guys have a full on conversation? Were you happy with everything that?
Yeah, I actually wanted it a little bit smaller, but I'm glad I didn't. I don't know, I might go back and get a little bit smaller. Who knows? I don't know. I think that more fit is in, because at first, back in the day, like 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago, it was like you have to have this gigantic booty.
Yeah, because of you.
And then now it's just ugh, that's too much, bro. People want to get healthy and fit and strong.
God.
I want biceps and
So do you go to the gym?
You know what? I do and I don't, but he's laughing at me. So I have a treadmill and a Stairmaster in my back. Yeah. Outside, and then I set up outside.
And you just walk by it every day.
Yeah, because you don't want to be sweating and looking crazy. I don't want to have my wig on. Man, what?
This is the reason why I'm overweight that people don't understand.
Because you're worried about your hair?
It has. Do you know this line right here will be gone? I went to the gym the day before I got this haircut.
Yeah.
And I might not go tomorrow now.
Oh, Lord.
It's
no, I know it's work.
Yeah.
You're crazy,
Well,
Jason.
listen. No, why? Okay, so Lash Cosmetics. So now you're getting ready to become a billionaire with Lash Cosmetics. These girls, I'm telling you, the glow up is crazy.
I'm trying.
People don't understand how much. Are you speaking at BeautyCon? Because she's at BeautyCon this year.
You got to come to BeautyCon. It's August 10th and 11th.
Freshie, you hear that?
I will put you. I can put you guys on the email with Moj, who owns BeautyCon. Yeah, you should definitely do something.
I agree.
So Lash Cosmetics. What inspired that?
You know what? What inspired it was me sitting in the house. No, so I had to figure out what in the world do people see when they actually look at me. So for the longest, I will always hear what is that with those lashes? Those big ass lashes. You see them?
I love them.
So I had to have super big lashes so you could see them through the veins. So I'm you know what? Let me put my name to something that I actually live by. So I live by lashes, period. So I started my first design, and then I came out with 5, designed the box, and from there I was dang, I feel I'm a little bit in a box. So I changed it just from Lash by Blac Chyna to Lash Cosmetics. So that way it can open it up. So that's when I started the lipsticks and the skincare line, and I'm gonna try to extend it to more things past that.
Nice. So when is it live now, or when does it launch?
No, it been launched about 5 years now.
The Lash Cosmetics. The lashes.
Yeah.
But now the cosmetics.
I'm on my third round.
Wow.
Yep.
So you just sit at home, take photos, post on Instagram, and get caked up.
Yep. And I actually have a store out here too.
Where?
Yep, in Encino.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Well, 5 years.
Well, why don't you bring it down? Wait. Do you promote that you don't promote that on your Instagram?
I do, but I don't.
So why don't you get something on Melrose or something closer to? Encino's so far away.
I don't want to get robbed.
Damn.
I'm sorry. I said
Is it that bad?
No, I'm just saying. I like my location actually. It's all women. It's a baby. It's all it's catered to women. It's Pilates, CPK. We have
oh, then I know exactly where you are.
Yeah, the carousel right there. It's right off of Ventura. It's calm, subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's comfortable. It works for me.
So when your son grows up, he seems to have a lot of energy and seems to be a really good kid. What do you want him to know about his mom?
Everything that he already knows. I'm really hands-on. He sees everything. I'm always in the house, and he's super smart. So it's not he's oblivious of anything, Mm-hmm. But yeah.
And Dream, what do you teach? What are you going to teach her so she avoids maybe some of the mistakes you made?
As far as what I'm gonna just teach her.
Just we all grow. I've learned so many things from mistakes that I've made. I ain't gonna have no kids because I just don't want none. But if I had some, I know the things that I would teach my kids.
I mean, I feel like not like saying like, hey, do this, do that, but more like of like actions, you know? And I feel like everybody is entitled to like whichever way that they're gonna go. So, I mean, if it's something that's wrong, of course I'm gonna step up and say, hey, this isn't right. But I'm gonna also let her make her own mistakes too, so she could be a strong person and not so bubbled in. And I feel like a lot of people try to like bubble their kids and then once they're exposed to the real world, they get lost.
How is Dream like you, like in terms of the personality that she's developing? What are the things that you're like, oh wow, that is so me, that is my child?
Everything. So like some of the things I just be like, I have to just look at her because I'm like, I would have done the same thing. She's just like super bossy and she's super girly and she's super strong, like outspoken. She speaks really well. She's super smart. She's just everything. Like she blows my socks off.
Does she
like, all the time?
Does she try and get into your shoes and your makeup and stuff like that?
Makeup for sure.
Yeah.
Not the shoes yet. Not the shoes yet, but definitely like the makeup, the hair. The cooking. She just had made me a cake the other day and she was like, I have to set the oven for 25 minutes, but we have to wait 5 minutes before. Like, how do you know about like preheating up the oven? I was shook. Like, she's so funny.
So have you, I was recently went home to do a memorial for one of my brothers, and I just had some issues with my father, and I just had been saying like, one of my brothers had said, I learned how to become a good father by not having a father. What lessons have you learned in becoming a mother from your mother?
Just like being like thorough and just keeping things like underneath wraps, you know what I mean? Because you still have like that leeway for them to see certain things, you know what I mean? So if it means, okay, King doesn't have like a cell phone like at my house, but he has one at his dad's house.
With his own cell phone number?
Yeah, I'm just saying like certain things I try to like not encourage, you know what I mean? Just to kind of like keep that innocence or whatever. And I think that's like the main thing. And just maybe just encouraging like just, I don't know, it's just hard, you know what I mean? But I think that I'm doing a really good like job with it. And that's kind of like a really broad like question to like ask, you know? But overall, like I could just see like a reflection in them because I don't have like no problems, you know what I mean? Like from other people, and you could kind of like see other people's kids and how they kind of act, and it's just like, oh, okay, you know.
Time to put that in the cage.
No, yeah, no.
So the real Blac Chyna is going to be premiering when on Zeus?
It's going to be premiering July 14th.
July 14th. Okay,
Yes.
and we're going to be seeing King Cairo on there, correct?
You're gonna see a lot of me. I feel as though, of course, my kids are like in my life, but I feel like I need to start from like the basis of like what's happening like right now, you know? And that's another reason why I don't like post my kids like that on social media, because I don't want them to be so burnt out before they can even like shake and move like on their own, you know what I mean? And I see it happen so often where like parents like they post too much and it's just like, dang, like you burning your kid out, and the kid is like only like
The kid doesn't even know.
Yeah, not even know what's going on.
Yeah. And you can't trust everybody in the world. You know what I mean?
No, not
the more
at all.
exposed your child is, the more people know who your child is when you're not around.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, so Harvard University, were you going or not going? Because there was this whole thing, you were going to Harvard University and then they said you weren't.
People are so funny, and I want you to stay tuned in for that too.
Is it going to be in the Are you going to cover that in the show?
No, you're gonna see very soon.
Okay. Well, listen, I appreciate you coming on the show.
Yes, we do.
Thank you.
And like I said, I wish I would not have met you before you came on the show.
Why?
Because when I met you, you were so goddamn nice. I was like, fuck, it's sort of like me and a kitten. I can't even fucking, do what I do. But no, you privately, you're just a really nice person. And you're really, you just stay out the way. You mind your business. But we all in your business. We love posting you on Hollywood Unlocked. Did we follow her back?
Let me follow y'all, because you know what I'm saying.
No, but I will say that, again, I'll say before we end, I do really like the new, now I'm not going to say the new Chyna. I like the fact that you are coming out a little bit more. I like that you are speaking for yourself and not letting everybody speak for you. And one thing I will say, because a lot of people want a relationship with Hollywood Unlocked for, I think, the wrong reasons. Keep it real transactional. We cool, so you don't post me. you've never asked us to post anything. You've never asked us to take anything down. You've never asked for a favor. You never had your people call. But more importantly, I really feel like now that you're answering all the questions people want to know for whatever reason, you've just taken back control.
Thank you.
And
I have a new team, so I'm happy for that, and I'm like grateful for that, and I think that's really honestly what it's about,
Okay, so Wendy said when she gets out here, she and I are gonna go. I'm gonna take her to the gay club in West Hollywood. So I'm gonna invite you now if you want to go.
Yep, we need a party bus too.
Yeah, we do.
Wendy said, "Can you get them pap snaps?" I said, "Oh, I'm sure we can figure that out, Wendy."
She's so sweet.
I love her. All right, well, thank
I don't know
you.
what a pap snap is.
Paparazzi.
Oh, okay. Well, gosh.
She's like, Pat. Like, whoa.
Well, listen, thank you for coming on the show. I appreciate it.
Yes,
Thank you,
love.
And we're out.
Thank you.
Peace.
Bye,
Love you
everybody.
guys. Make sure y'all download Zeus. The real Blac Chyna.